Hi, good morning. We are Mariel and Victor, and we are present the oral story of the shadows of the elementary school. Enjoying it.
I was at the Coahuila Elementary School with my friend Eric. It was nighttime past 10 p.m. I found myself in that place because many people said that in the darkness of the hallways you could hear ghostly voices. I didn't believe them, and out of bravery or as a personal challenge, and I ventured into investigation. At first, I could hear or see anything.
Once midnight had passed, we saw a shadow run by. I was very scared, but Eric wanted to follow it, so that was we did. As we went deeper into the hallways, we realized how airy schools can be at night, such contrast to the children's joy in the morning. I didn't used to think about it, but now the silence was so heavy. It was almost as suffocating as the air in the silly town.
After searching for a while, we didn't find what had cast that shadow, but we ran into the janitor, who didn't seem very surprised that we were there, which struck us as odd. After talking with him for a bit, he told us that a long time ago there used to be a cemetery there for a people nobody wanted, and that's why at the night they would appear to scare anybody who dared to disturb them. He was, to our initial surprise, the most convincing storyteller I'd ever met.
We decided that was enough and that we should leave. We thanked the janitor and headed toward the exit. I thought the fear was growing. I couldn't help but notice something unsettling. The poor priest standing in the hallways seemed to have empty eyes, as if somebody had turned out the pupil.
When we reached the main door, we pulled the handle, but it didn't shift. It was hanging. We tried another one and another. All of them, suddenly the lights went out completely, plunging us into absolute darkness. This was the worst predicament we could imagine.
A low hoarse low echo in the hallways behind us. When I turned on my phone's flashlight with trembling hands, the beam of light swept through the gloom and illuminate and Nator's figure at the end of the corridor. Though he was no longer the kingman from a few minutes ago. He was still stunned by the transformation. His eyes were two black empty sockets, and his mouth open in a passionate grimace. The face was the most grotesque image I ever seen. It was the ugliest reflection of poor malice.
Those whom nobody wanted. Always see company whisper about that didn't come from him, but from everywhere at once. Eric and I ran desperately toward the burn rooms, the only place where we thought we could look ourselves in. As we bolted the door, painting, we heard footsteps turning so slowly down the hallway. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Eric, usually so jovial and adventurous, was now completely terrified. He used to stay up late every night to binge watch our series on his laptop. But he deals was nothing like a fictional scare on an screen.
Suddenly, the footsteps stopped right outside the door. A sharp, violent knock made the wood creak. Another one, and the planks began to give way. Eric screamed when a pale bunny hen slipped through one of the cracks, groping blindly for the lock.
I knew then, with a chilling certainty, that we weren't there out of bravery. We had been invited, and those whom nobody wanted had finally found someone to stay with.
The last thing I remember was the cold. A cold that coiled around the bones and silenced the screams, while the shadows at last stopped being just shadows.